the truth about women and male friends, myths, and realities. So there are some questions that I saw that a lot of men ask. I wanted to look at the most popular questions that most common questions that men have. And the first question that came up is, can a man and woman truly just be friends? Now, I can only speak for my perspective, and this is just what I'm going to say. The first thing I will say is this. I've had a best friend that's a male since I was in high school. It's never been romantic. It has never been any of those things. Never. Okay? It's never been anything, no funny business. Okay? And so I can say with all certainty that for sure, I believe men and women can absolutely be friends. I have had a male friend since childhood. I mean, high school, knew my family, everything like that. And he absolutely was just my friend. He was just my friend. He was not anything more than my friend. Okay? And here's the thing, family. Here's the thing. Whenever I was in a relationship, or whenever he was married as well, he got married and I was in relationships. There was never, if the relationship, his relationship, which, he's married now, we don't talk like that. We don't communicate like that. We're very, we know that we're cool. We're friends, we're there for each other. He's very cool with my family, that type of thing. But there's a lot of respect between like the distance. We don't call. We're not talking about each other's relationship. We don't talk about any of that. There are limits and boundaries to the friendship. Absolutely. So when he got married, that I could understand why a woman wouldn't want, I could only imagine a woman wouldn't want their friend to be, talking to me and being open with me, right? Like that might not be what a woman would desire her man to be doing. So I thought about it from the perspective of, what would I want? Would I want my man to be talking to a woman about our issues? And that's how I looked at it. So there was a level of respect when I was in relationships. I honored what the men in those relationships desired for me. So if the men in those relationships were like, nah, this is not cool. Like, I don't like this relationship. I don't like how cool, I don't like y'all talking as often. I would honor the man in that relationship, right? I never allowed the friendship to get in the way of potential relationships, because ultimately if I got married or, whatever, like that's my man. And my man gonna take precedence. My man gonna take precedence. Because what my man can do, you cannot do. I'm just keeping it real. What my man is supposed to do, you cannot do. So I'm gonna honor and respect my man in that situation. So that's what I think. I think that ultimately, I do believe that there can be friendships, but I do believe there has to be boundaries. And I do believe that when people get into certain relationships, you have to honor those boundaries, right? You can't be like talking to your male best friend every day when you got a man. Like that's disrespectful to the man. And men, you can't be talking to your female best friend every day. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not good for you either. Like you can, and I think even more so for men, if you start connecting with a woman emotionally, it means a lot more. I really believe that. I think that when men start reaching out to women and they start having a connection with women, that's not easy to do. You don't naturally just connect with women. So I think it's very important for people to feel, they should feel some type of way. Right? That's what I think. I think that we both have to be careful, but I think it has to be respect. I do think that it's possible to be for a platonic male and female friendships. I really do believe that. I don't think that that's like unheard of. I really don't. I just think it has to be boundaries, and that's that. You know. But I will. Here's the other side, y'all. Here's the other side of this. Let me be very clear. Let's be very clear. I've also had issues where there was men that I thought were my friends. Ladies, you're not gonna be happy with this story, but it's the truth. There was men that I thought were my friends that were not my friends. In fact, when a relationship ended, there was one friend of mine that I thought was my friend. And on my birthday, he tried me. He tried me. Oh, he tried me. And I felt so disrespected. I never spoke to him again in the same capacity. Never. Never. I was like, man, you can't trust nobody. Because I had recently just fell out with a female friend, and now this male friend that I thought was my friend, as soon as the door opened for you, I mean, I was just out of my relationship for like a month. Like 1 month. 1 month out of the relationship, y'all. Listen to this. And not only was it a friend of mine, but it was friends of my ex. That was like, I love you. I know you was a good woman. I saw how you was holding the old boy down. I was like, wow. Golly. Not only was it my friends, it was his friends that was like secretly waiting on the okie doke. I'm just saying, y'all. Some guys, it's diabolical. It is diabolical. It's diabolical. It's a cold world. But I'm saying, guys, a lot of times a lot of guys, we have to understand this. Social media has made our world really believe that what we have is common. That when you have somebody good in your life, it's common. It's not common. Quality is rare. I don't care what dynasty we live in. Quality is always and always will be rare. Right? And so when we have this world where we're always trying to find something better because our explore page makes us feel like there's 1,027 different options. I say this on a lot of different videos. The grass only looks greener on the ground. Grass only looks greener on the ground. Somebody said here, I'm not surprised. It happened to me too. Aisha, I hear you, girl. I'm just saying. Grass only looks greener on social media. It's very important for us to understand the value of the things that we have in our lives. And sometimes it does take us to lose it for other people to understand what they had. But I do think social media makes it seem like it makes it harder for you to just stick to something that is good, right? Because it makes it seem like you could just find something good. Just because it look good don't mean it is good. That's a word for somebody tonight. Just because it look good don't mean it is good. Right. And I feel like, y'all, to be honest with you, if you look at somebody, I mean, you can hear somebody, you can tell when somebody's quality and not on some level, like to some degree. Right. It's not that hard to tell whether somebody really about something or not. Let's just keep it real. Right. There's not that many women of certain quality. And there's not that many men of a certain quality. So anyway, I went on a tangent, but let's get into it. Let's get into the second one. Can men and women just truly be friends? I'm saying yes, but there has to be boundaries. And that boundaries, the onus is on both parties in that relationship. Number 2, has he ever been attracted to you? Now, y'all, this may not seem like it's a big deal, but I think it is kind of a big deal. How and I like I feel like it. If somebody you can find somebody attractive, but maybe say, I'll never try them. Like that will never happen, right? Or there's people in your life where you're like, they're my friend right now. But if I ever get single and if I'm ever ready, I'm coming right for them. Y'all know, I'll tell you, men, men, please don't be mad at me. Men are snipers. Men are snipers. They're snipers. Women are not snipers. Men are snipers. Why do I say that? Men, in my opinion, they know they are very let me hear Sam say what you're trying to say. Men have discernment. Okay, they know what's quality and what's not, but they also know when they're ready for quality and when they're not ready for quality, right? I truly believe that. I believe men understand more so than women what they're ready for. Women, whether we're ready for it or not, which is our problem, we will enter into a relationship and sabotage ourselves. Men, they're like, no, we ain't ready for a relationship. And whether if they can meet the baddest woman, the nicest woman, the most perfect woman in the world, they will stand on business and say that they're not ready for a relationship. They understand what they're ready for and what they're not. And they're more hesitant to jump into something rather than to get into something. Like women will be like, relationship is presented, we'll say yes, right? Well, that's our default. We're going to say yes. Men, default, no. Men default is a no. It's a hard no. Women, it's a yes. And we'll sabotage it and we'll cry about it. And then we'll watch this guy's story for 77 years, stalking him because we messed it up and we knew we did. Some of y'all might have some women now stalking y'all stories, wondering why. Because she messed it up. That's why. She messed it up. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's not just be every once in a while. Let's become family, okay? Friends that are family. Okay, join my family today.